Welcome to the Upfront Podcast, where you get your weekly dose of upfront discussions with people from all around the world. My guest today is Rahel Cucchia. Rahel was brought up in a very small town in central Switzerland. In 2018, she started working out to build her fitness and competed in her first bodybuilding competition within a year. After several successful national competitions, she then went to Romania to compete in an international pro qualification that she won overall and in her class. Rahel became an IFBB Pro and has been a professional bodybuilder ever since. We will talk about her career and exceptional accomplishments, what it takes to be a bodybuilder, body image issues, and what it is really like being a woman in this male-dominated field. It's really great to have you here because of all the insights that you can provide. So first off, you're a professional bodybuilder, and I think that's really fascinating because that's not something that we get to talk about enough. And so please start off by telling me a bit about yourself.
First of all, like you said, my name is Rahel. I'm from Switzerland. I'm 29 years old, and I'm a professional bodybuilder since back in 2019. I've started back in 2018 with fitness. Also in 2018, I did my first competition in bodybuilding. It's called the figure division. And so I did 2 competitions in Switzerland, and I've placed second 2 times. And I was really, really upset because I wanted to win. So 2019, I competed again in Switzerland. There I placed first, and then I did my first international pro qualifier in Romania, and there I won my class and I won the overall, and I became an IFBB Pro. So yes, that's so the beginning from everything.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's quite the achievement. So what did you want to be when you were a child? What did you want to be when you'd grown up?
I grown up in a little village, maybe 2,000 people are living here in central of Switzerland. And my dream was always to be a professional dancer, but this was only a dream. I did ballet before, then I was a dancer, but I was normal at school. But I decided to do a normal apprenticeship for like in the office. Yeah, but my dream was always as a child to be a dancer.
Yeah, it's hard to achieve, right?
Yeah, right.
Mm. So you're a professional bodybuilder now, as you've mentioned before. How did you first get into bodybuilding?
My ex-boyfriend, I met him 2017. He was a personal trainer at the fitness club, and I always loved to do sports, but I stopped dancing when I started to work in a full-time job. But I recognized and realized really quick again that I missed to do something like sports or something that I can push myself. And back in 2017, I met my ex-boyfriend, but he was a personal trainer, and I went with him to the gym. And because I was not happy with my body, for me it was because I had like typical woman's problems like belly fat, like I was not happy with my body. So I wanted to change something. I wanted to do sports again. So I went with him in the gym, and he showed me like how to train. And he gave me like a 2-kilo dumbbell in my hands, and I was not strong enough to lift this dumbbell up. And he said to me like he never saw something weak like me before. And this was really shocking for me, and I was really upset, and I cried because I don't like to be weak, or I'm not a weak person. So I was really upset, but this was the point where I said to myself, okay, I will show you how weak I am. And I just began to train almost every day, too much. And I became stronger, and I made progress really, really quick. So people came to me and asked me if I don't want to compete in bodybuilding or to be on stage and show my hard work. And for me, it was like, no, because I do it because I love it. I love to be stronger. I want to be the best version of myself and not to present it on a stage. But then I've searched a coach here in Switzerland. I know that she's really, really famous here in Switzerland, and I only wanted to know her opinion if she sees some potential in me,
Mm-hmm.
if I can be a bodybuilder, if I can compete, if she sees I have the potential to be a good athlete. And so I met her and she said to me, this was back in 2018, she said, yes, you have potential. So you can start competing this year. Because of that, it started. But now I'm so strong and because I want
Yeah, I can only imagine.
to, but at the beginning, I wasn't strong at all. And I don't know why, because I was overweight.
Oh, interesting. So there are different divisions for women in bodybuilding: bikini, figure, physique, bodybuilding, and fitness, right?
Right, exactly.
How did you figure out which division you wanted to go into? Or is that by choice or by like your natural physique?
It depends. It's one point is your genetics. For example, I don't want to compete in the figure division because I didn't know this division. I only knew that there is the bikini division. There are like smaller girls, only a little bit of muscles. And there are bodybuilding or fitness. And there's also a class called wellness. They have big legs and the bigger glutes. Their upper body is small. And I wanted to do this division, but my coach told me no, never. You have to do the figure division or the bikini division because wellness, your legs are too long and you don't are like genetically gifted for smaller legs. They can be like that big or that round. So in she told me if you do the figure division, you can lift really, really heavy. You need a lot of more muscles. But she also told me like you're not genetically gifted for this division because you're not that big in your upper body like other girls. So this was
Hmm.
also a challenge for me. And bikini, I don't want to do bikini because I love to lift heavy and to like the gym is for me like it's like a place where I can put all my energy into like and also like therapy. If I choose the bikini division, I have to do more like cardio, like stairmaster with lightweight, and so I decided to go with the figure division. But I knew, okay, maybe I will not be a pro in this division because I'm not genetically gifted, like she said. But I showed her that she wasn't right because I became pro and a good pro, yes, now because I put all my hard work into this and yes. And I like a
Good
lot
for
of
you.
muscles. Yes, the figure division is like you have to have more muscles, but you have also to be in a leaner look, like the fat and water. Yeah, like the your fat and water has to be so low. And yeah, in the bikini division you can have more like a little bit more fat or water in your body.
Oh, interesting. So there's only so much you can do to actually change your naturally, like genetically gifted figure.
You can. So I showed her that it's possible, but it's always with hard work.
Yeah, of course. It also definitely looks like it from your Instagram page and everything. Yeah. So there's also some things, issues that have been studied and detected within the bodybuilding industry, like an increased heart rate and other physical issues. What do you do to like pay close attention to for yourself to ensure that you do stay healthy?
In bodybuilding, it's like this. You have different time frames. For example, now I'm in the off season. You have, for example, 3 months of off season where you try to grow. So you have to eat a lot more than you are using during the day. So you're in a calorie surplus. And this is the healthiest part. It's not because you train maybe 4 times per week and you eat, but you eat a lot more than usual, and this is not healthy. But the not healthy part comes after. It's when you start to prep for a competition. It's maybe 20 weeks before the competition will be, you start dieting. So you have to increase your training and cardio. You have to do a lot
Mm.
more stuff, and you will eat less. So the calorie goes in a deficit, but your performance goes in a plus. And
So
this,
you're shredding down,
yeah,
kind of.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is also points where, because you are giving so much, and for me, like example, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing my cardio for 45 minutes on a bike. Then I will do my normal work like a sales manager. After my work, I go to work out. After my workout, this is maybe 2 hours, I will do cardio again for 30 until 40 minutes, and with so less food and so less carbs. After a time, you recognize like that it's not healthy to do that, because maybe the period stops, or you can't concentrate that good because your energy level is so low. But the time is not that long. So for me to be healthy always is after the competition, I stop. I don't go to work out anymore for about 4 weeks. I will eat normal again, look that everything is in a good range again.
So, but I bet that this puts a lot of strain on your physical health, like as you said, with very low energy, but you have to work out more. And
Mm.
also mentally, I would imagine that does, create some issues for you. How do you like keep up the motivation during that time,
Mm.
even if it's for like a short time before the competitions?
Absolutely true. It's difficult to describe, because your body fat gets into a level where it's not normal for a human or for a woman. You will be so much different as a person. Like, you're tired the whole time. You don't want to talk, even if it's something normal, even if it's with your boyfriend or with family. You don't have the energy at the end of such a prep. And
Mm.
I stay motivated because I have a goal. I have a goal. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to represent my work on stage. And I have always this in my mind too. And I know this time is not that long where I feel like crap. And it's always a challenge. It makes me, yeah, addicted, because
Hmm.
I want to beat myself, and I'm always struggling with myself. If I'm hungry, not to eat. If I'm tired, I have to work out. So you always, every day is a new fight with yourself, and you have to keep your performance high in every aspect of life. Life doesn't stop around you only because you are dieting or prepping for a show. I stay motivated because I love it. I really love the whole process, and I have a goal. Mhm.
So you said this time before the competition, which is like the toughest, lasts for 20 weeks?
Yeah, it starts 20 weeks out, but the
Hmm.
toughest are maybe 10 weeks out. You feel like now it's getting serious. Now it's getting hard, really, really hard. And there's the point you have to fight against yourself.
And how do you make sure you don't like slip into an eating disorder? Like that you can like go back to sort of eating normally, quote unquote.
Honestly, I love food. I love food. I love like pizza. I love burgers. I love everything what's not healthy. I really, after my competitions, I eat that stuff. I eat it, and
Mm.
a lot of that stuff. But I think because of the sport, I learned to appreciate the food so much more. For me, like now, it's a cappuccino with some milk and a little bit of chocolate on top. It's, for me, it's like heaven, and I appreciate this cappuccino so much. Or a pizza now. In my off season, I can eat also pizza like once a week. I have like a cheat meal, and I really appreciate the food so much more. Like before I was doing that sport, for me it was normal to eat pizza whenever I want, or it was normal. And now food is
Mm.
like so something special for me. It's like like this big love. Really, it makes me so happy. Good food makes me happy.
I read a lot about like muscle dysmorphia and body dysmorphia. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yes, definitely. You reach a point in the prep where you can't see yourself like it is, because for me, I'm always not shredded enough. I'm not good enough. Honestly, I see myself always. I have not that much muscle that I need. I'm not shredded enough. So for that, I need other eyes, like my coach. She tells me like, no, you're on point. You're on the right way. Okay, here, here, here. Because if you're doing this sports, you can't see yourself. It's impossible. Like I'm never happy with my look, never, because I think always here is not good. This is not good. This is not good, and for that without a coach it wouldn't be possible to do that.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's some of a similar phenomenon that you see happening with people who constantly look at like social media and compare themselves to like edited and filtered images. I think something similar probably happens when you constantly work on your body as your job.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that that puts a lot of pressure on it.
Right, it is, and that now, even now, in off season, like for me, it's really important also for my coach that in the off season or after the competition, we have that recovery phase. It's you don't look that muscular like in a prep, or you don't be that shredded because you want that your hormones are coming back, that your body's function normal again, and so now I'm looking like a normal woman, and for me, it's like it's sometimes really, really not easy to handle with that because you're an athlete and okay, you have to be healthy. You want to do the sport long and healthy. So you need to give your body this rest, that everything function again normal. And
Hmm.
it is an extreme sport. So you also need a break. Now, even now, if I look at the mirror, I think, oh, I'm not happy. But I know it's important for the progress, for long-term goals. The mind, it's sometimes not that easy to handle.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is there any sort of thing that you do to prevent slipping further into like body image issues? Is there like a therapist that you talk to regularly, or something that you do, like, I don't know, stay away from mirrors for a while? Or because I do feel like this up and down in like how you look and how you feel and your energy level and what you eat and drink and everything, it's
Mm,
got to be a strain on you mentally.
extreme, yes, but I'm not speaking with the therapists. I speak with my coach. I speak with the people around me, and I know it's for a good reason. So now I know, okay, I want to be better. So it's important to be in for example, in a surplus of calories. It's necessary to put on some body fat again. It's necessary to be heavier again, to not be that shredded because I want to be healthy. I have a goal. So it's like eyes closed and work your ass off and yeah. No, don't
Hmm.
think too much.
Can I ask you, are women treated differently to men in the industry and at like competitions?
Yeah, definitely. So in the scene, in the bodybuilding scene, not, but women with muscles are not that accepted like men's are because most of the people who are judging you are normal people or who don't understand what you're doing and or why you're doing that and what it takes to be on that level. But they only see, okay, this woman, she has muscle. Oh, she looks like a man. And here at the village in Switzerland, for the people, oh, this is I'm like a freak for them. But now they're like used to it, and now they want also to have like they question me, how can I get a six pack or how can I get fit? But at the beginning, it was not easy for me and for them to, yeah.
But you're talking more about society around you instead of like in the bodybuilding business.
Yeah, right. In the
Mm.
bodybuilding business, it's the men's are more popular,
Mm.
like women's. That's the only thing. But I think in the bodybuilding scene, the women's are accepted like men's, but they're not getting that, yeah, admiration like the men's.
Yeah, I do believe it is still a very male dominated field, right?
Right, yes. They also like on competitions, they get also so much more prize money. Women are not getting that much like men's, never.
Oh, really? Even for the same like competition?
Yeah, right.
Oh, incredible. Well, that has to change, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Olympia is the highest competition, like the highest of competitions in bodybuilding, right?
Right, exactly. That's a dream for every bodybuilder, right?
Well, then I'm well informed, I guess. Isn't that name alone like sort of dismissive of women who also compete for this award because it's called Mr. Olympia?
Yeah, it's Mr. Olympia, but you have women's division and men's division. It's
Mm.
the I don't know why it's called Mr. Olympia, but you also have a Mrs. Olympia in every division.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Olympia is just the
Name.
greater organization, sort
Yeah,
of.
right.
Well, maybe we should start a bit of an inclusion campaign to change
Yeah,
Mr. Olympia to Olympia competition, right?
right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, because it does sound like Mr. Olympia is kind of a
Only
well
men.
down to like yeah
Mhm.
patriarchal system, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
right.
So, as a professional bodybuilder and athlete, I'm sure you have witnessed and experienced things that other people wouldn't even know about. I'm sure it takes a lot more discipline than people actually do realize. Maybe they think you just spend hours upon hours in the gym, but what you actually do is, I don't know, devote your entire day to it or something.
Yeah.
But are
Yes,
there sort of things that are like people are not aware at all, you think?
yeah, I think a lot because the people only see, for example, the pictures, how you look on stage or on Instagram, but they don't see what it takes because you put so much into it if you want to be on the top level. Like it's a 24/7 job. It's it's so much more than only to train. You have to meal prep all your meals. For example, I eat 6 until 7 times a day, and this all 3 hours, and everything is measured. You have to always to give your best performance every day, day in, day out. Then you have to, for example, if you're if you have time and if you don't work also in a full-time job, you have to do massages or like therapy for your body. So then you have to practice posing. It's a lot like also the posing practice because you have to learn how you pose on stage. For me, I don't have so much friends now because they don't understand that you don't have time because you have to work out 6 days in a week.
Mm.
And after that, you're dead. You have to go home and meal prep again for the next day. You are tired. You can't go out party. You can't go out eat or drink something because you have to stick to the plan because you have a goal. You have a date where you have to be the best version of yourself on that date, on that stage. So not a lot of people are accepting that because you live a life where you always in a tunnel vision, like in a focus, you're always
Mm.
trying to be better and better. And this is sometimes you're like a little bit alone because you are fighting so heavy. And I have 2, 3 friends. They are not in this scene, but the rest are in the scene because they understand what you're doing. If you have other ones, they are not in the scene and they are accepting that. You are a lucky one because you're a machine. You're not a human anymore for this time of prep.
So, speaking of that extreme level of discipline, what does an average day for you look like?
An average day now in the off season, it's like I get up, I'm doing my breakfast. Now I have 4 times a week cardio in the morning for 30 minutes, so it's not that much like in the prep. After that, I'm getting up, doing my breakfast, going to work. I work as a sales manager. After the work, I'm going to work out in the gym and with all my meals. After that, I'm going home, prep my meals for tomorrow, and going to sleep. Now I'm working next to my sales manager job. I put a lot of work in my Instagram. So because now I have sponsors, so I need to
Mm.
post for them. I need to also to work for them on social media next to all these other things. yes, it's also always really, really hard and tough because earlier in the days it was like if you're the best athlete, you have a sponsors. Now it's like you have to be a good athlete, but your social media has to be better. So it's not the most important thing that you're a good athlete. The most important thing is that your social media is good for the sponsors.
Does that also influence like the outcome of competitions, you think? Like your social media following?
The outcome, no, but
Mm.
maybe the eyes on you, yes, because they recognize you, because they know you from social media, but not the outcome.
Oh, okay. That seems fair at least.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of like misconceptions and also stigma, I feel like, around bodybuilders. How do you deal with like strangers' unsolicited feedback?
Honestly, I have to say, luckily, I don't have strange comments, but I have some, but they are not that much. And if I get some strange or comments, or I just don't listen and delete them.
Mm. And good for you. So at these competitions, you are being judged by your appearance. How do you deal with that?
If you are on stage, there are always like five, six judges, and they know what they have to look about and to judge about. And for me, it's sometimes you can. It's not always that fair like you think, but I'm always going to ask them for feedback or yes, and for me it's okay. It's always fair.
Because it's part of the work.
Yeah.
Hmm. I feel like all people, but especially women, do face a lot of criticism if they don't fit into the kind of classical beauty standard. How do you
Mm.
deal with like negative feedback from like strangers in the gym or on the streets?
I don't get negative comments or feedbacks that much, but if I just, for example, I was 3 weeks in Mexico before my competition in the States last year, and I never thought that because I thought Switzerland must be so like not open-minded to that sport, but Mexico was crazy because they were partying a lot when they saw me, but they also stared at me so heavy. And this was like, okay, I'm used to get to if people are watching me or staring at me, but this was so hard and so intense, and they like I was uncomfortable going
Hmm.
out with only a tank top. So because it was really really heavy, like all the tourists, everybody was looking, and it was kind of strange for me, and it was like, I'm feeling not that comfortable again. I just go move forward and I don't stop. For me, if they are looking like me, like I'm a freak, I know I'm on the right way because for the competition, it's the perfect look.
Yeah, you have to stand out, right?
Yeah, right. If you would listen to all the judgments from other people, from strangers, you would be down, upset, broke, and you have to be that strong not to listen because you can't change the people around the stranger who are judging you by nothing. They are nobody for you. So sometimes I was thinking a lot at the beginning from kind of words from people I don't know, and they were like a long time in my head, and I was thinking about, and they felt me like not that strong or like not good enough, or like maybe I'm not a woman, or maybe I'm not, I don't know, I'm a freak. And something at the beginning it was hard to accept that, but now I know my circle, and my circle is small, and if somebody comes and like a strangers, I just don't listen. I'm not allowed to listen.
Yeah, good for you. Because I think in your line of work, it just sort of comes with the job, right?
Right,
You said you do have like job as a sales manager, right? You do
right,
still do that?
yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. How do you manage it all?
It's difficult. I stopped
Mm.
last year, end of June, and I went to the States for competition. And also, I wanted to live there, but then I came back to Switzerland because I wanted to do two competitions here for to qualify for the Mr. Olympia last year. But then I had like a surgery. It was not planned at all. One day I had so stomach problems, and it's not about because of bodybuilding. It was just random. The doctors couldn't tell me why this happened, but I had like in my colon, it was changed or just like 180 degrees. Yeah, it twisted. So
Uh-huh.
I had to do a surgery, and I had to stop prepping because I couldn't even walk for 1 week and even train for 8 weeks. Now, since end of December, I started to train again. I searched again a full-time job, and since December, I started again in a full-time job and to train. Yes, and since then, I'm doing both again.
Hmm. So, but you're fully recovered now.
Yeah, I'm fully recovered.
Oh, great. Who does your team consist of? I bet you have a team behind all of that.
Yeah, it's my coach. She's everything for me. For me, it's really important to have a good relationship with your coach because I can tell her everything what's on my mind. I can tell her everything, and she's like a mom for me now after years. And then I had a manager who is looking for all my sponsors or for all the inquiries, and the rest of it, it's always all by myself. And the sponsors for sure, who are giving me supplements, who are looking for my travels.
Have you ever thought about what would you like to do when you're no longer participating in competitions?
Yes, I honestly was thinking about a lot of them. I would love to help women that they are not scared about to be strong. They're not scared about to work out, to not scared about to lift weights or getting manly or something else, just to be confident. Because for me, bodybuilding is not only to work out, it showed me so much more than only work out because you learn how to be disciplined, you learn how to stand for yourself, you learn
Mm.
how to be strong and not listen to anybody. You learn that you are allowed to do what you love. If you're doing it, you will become also that admiration from so much people who are looking up to you. And for me, it's I have so many women who are looking up to me, and they tell me, "Hey, because of you, I've started to work out. Because of you, I want to feel better." Because and this gives me so much more, and I want to continue with that women can be strong and they are allowed to be strong. Not only men are allowed to be strong.
Well said.
Yeah.
What is your ultimate goal with bodybuilding?
My ultimate goal with bodybuilding is the Mr. Olympia. It is.
Mm. Or Mrs. Olympia until then.
Yeah. Right.
Next, I asked Rahel what she thinks should change within the bodybuilding industry.
Yeah, for example, like you said, not that Mr. Olympia is called in the future only the Olympia, for example,
Hmm.
or that the women are getting the same recognition or admiration like the men's, the same prize money, because the women are putting the same work into this like the men's are putting in. So it's not something different.
So eventually it comes down to gender equality.
Yeah.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, what is your mantra for like motivation or discipline that our listeners may find useful for their own life?
Do what you love and work for it. It's just follow your passion, follow your heart, and follow your intention. If you feel that thing is right for you, then do it without listening to anybody, because it's your life and nobody can tell you what to do. If you feel that this thing is right for you, so you have to do it. It's from nothing comes nothing. It's like that. You have to work for it, the most of us. I think I have only one life. Nobody allows me to say what is right and what not. What can I do and what not? If I want to be a professional football player, I'm trying to be I will try it. If I want to fly to the moon, I will try it. But I will be the best bodybuilder who I can be. I want to be the best version of myself. This is what makes me happy. And so everybody should do that.
Oh, thank you so much for your insights and for the valuable lessons that you shared. And I hope we can learn from that how we can empower each other better.
Of
So,
course.
yeah, best of luck for your future competitions.
And
And
you.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Upfront Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on any new episodes. We will be back next week.